www.pdcent.com. That's me. My name is Jaja Soze. I was born and raised in Handsworth, Birmingham, but grew up in South London, a place called Brixton. My background is a heavy influence of street culture and music, and throughout the years, I've seen my community and people fall victim to self-genocide and misdirection inflicted on us by the higher social system and governments of power. I've seen how the same cycle of destruction has broken up our families and killed and imprisoned our young youths. I feel it is now time for a change, but not that President Obama type of change. I believe it's time we as a people came together and took responsibility of our own actions and start to build back up our families and communities. So I'm going on a short journey to speak to people from different areas and hear their stories, opinions and thoughts on how we can move forward and start to progress as a people. I will be speaking to people in their own comfort zones and in our community. Do sit down and conversate sometimes around smoking and liquor. But do not feel offended by my blatant filming of these substances, but instead understand that this is progression in its rawest form. I want to get a bare insight into the mind frame of our people. I'll be speaking to foundation elders, ex-gang members, young entrepreneurs and music artists to find out what motivates them and who inspires them and where do we go from here.
Everything and anything to get the peace. The society we're living in, it's a necessity. It's got the power to turn your best friends to enemies. It's funny because money doesn't.
See, I want to know about different people's opinions on growing up in our communities. I want to know how some of our people had grown up and some of the problems they had faced in their community. What were their families like? How was school for you as a young black man or woman? How is this affecting our youth of today? I wanted to get a better insight into their growth.
Grew up all my life in Brixton, saw my mum go through it from bed and breakfast, from squatting first, Lando Road. The house in Lando Road.
Squatting.
Squatting.
How was that for you as a little youth?
I was young. I didn't even know nothing about life, paying rent. I never know my mum was squatting.
It was a different energy that you have now. You know what I mean? I grew up in a real community. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in an era where, you know, everybody knew everybody, and you know, if you knew this, you know, Mrs. Johnson or Mrs. Davis or whatever, and
like I remember summers like playing out like water fights, the whole state's involved, like playing 40-40, playing run-outs, like, you know, teams, you got to do.
Me growing up those days, it seems like it was easier and better then. Obviously, we was the first generation here, so we had the first set of racism. Yeah. It was teddy boys and all that, but we took it, I personally took it for a joke if they chased us or called us black bastard or whatever, because I could run and I could fight.
But them days of beer spots, like the black community, we had a big ends, you get me with a strip, and furthermore you get me at like night spot, Aki Tree, Black Cat, Plaza, beer scene was going in, so you remember some of them places, innit?
Like I had one teacher called Miss Clark from Jamaica, and like she was like a little sing-song teacher sort of thing. Like she had different methods of teaching us, sort of different ways, her own ways. Like see, when it comes to singing time, like she's all making us sing Hill and Gully Rider.
So them days, like man, used to be out there, there's like a bad grease star just up and down on the road. They get me sneaking into nights, but just watching the big man them on their thing, and they get me on them thing there, the excitement and that in it, cause you see the man them just chopping out little weeds and their jaws, and you know the life from there, man, was just like, you see me, cause obviously at home, my background was strict in it. Like, I come from a Muslim background, so I'm at home, I'm not none of that. It's like, you don't know beer, Quran, beer, masjid, and you get me?
Many of the people who were born in the 80s grew up with a heavy influence of the Rastafarian culture, including myself. This gave us a sense of who we were and a gathering of community. I wanted to know how this affected some of the people. What happened to the Rasta unity? And why was it such a strong influence on black people in Britain?
our families came to the UK with a very strict Christian upbringing. Early 80s, when I was very young, you could see that the generation above me was rebelling against a lot of that. They were striking out against anything that they saw as Eurocentric or European thinking, do you know what I'm saying? It was it was the Rastafari era, the things that needed to be addressed of who we were and who we are as Jamaican-born, Caribbean-born children. What's our relationship with the world? What's our relationship with Africa? Even if your parents weren't Rasta, your brother was, or your uncle was, or your cousin was. And for me personally, I was being educated. Like I grew up, I'm seeing, Haile Selassie's picture on the wall. Like, who's he? Oh, he's a king of Ethiopia, and he's this and he's that, and he's the emperor. Or why are we talking about Africa and this and that? What's the red, gold, and green mean? And we was really that era, like we was getting educated about ourselves. If you're talking about black people in Britain, we come from the Caribbean, and when we left the Caribbean, we weren't in a good place then anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? So really, for about 400 years, we've been in a mess. Do you get what I'm saying? So when we landed here, we landed here as a people. We still were carrying a lot of the baggage that what we've been through. So when the Rasta era took over in the 80s and everything, that was like the first time we started questioning certain things. I feel ever, like, who is God? What is our origin? Who are we? What is our, even certain food? What food are we eating, and what food should we leave alone? And this is the first time I think some of these things has been addressed. Some of the things that we had, that strict upbringing, and some of the things like the partner and the discipline and that whole family thing, I think that we should have kept that. Yeah. But some of the things, had to go. The Eurocentric thinking and the brainwashing that had to go.
Our generation has felt a big impact of growing up in a single-parent household. Most of us, like myself, have not really had a full family support system, and it has made it extremely hard to progress in life. But at the same time, many of us have come from dysfunctional families and have still been able to progress and become high achievers. Have we become a people that is now using excuses to justify our lack of progression in our community?
People come from broken families.
I know that, but a lot of the time you got man saying, I come from a broken family, but when you're on road, you got the most sense.
Exactly. Oh, there you go. I'm saying, do you think that
it's like
we've used that excuse for long? Like,
I think when you get to a certain
excuse is dead now.
The excuse is dead. Like when you get to a certain age, and say like on the road, you establish certain things. Don't go there. Don't do that. If I do that, I'll do that. From then, you ain't got no excuses, big.
Of course. And I think especially in the black community, we kill that excuse.
Kill it.
Oh, my dad's gone. My mum's ran the road.
That is some dead story.
It's like when you check it out, like no disrespect to like our own people, but when man was growing up, not many man lived with their pops.
I think the family breakdown is a result of what's happened to us as a people collectively. Going back to slavery, the family was broken down then. When the fathers got taken away, got killed, when the fathers were demasculized, I think the word is, in front of the women were made to feel more powerful than the men.
In the black communities, I think after our sort of grandparents' level where they were like married for years and they've come up in the family home, it just got broken, and I think we've as women have been tailored to be this independent. Even when you've got a man, you're not asking for anything. You do everything by yourself.
There's multiple things going on and multiple problems. But I think the breakdown is due to going back because we don't know who we are and we don't know what we're here to do, and we don't know what our power is as a people.
My mum remarried. Like, I wasn't feeling her husband, like, sort of thing, so me and him was itching up, but I'm a little youth, you get me? So I just have to just hold it sort of thing, so obviously my anger, building up. Probably you do things for attention maybe, like, you're just doing things to lash out, but then obviously your friends are doing this thing, maybe they're going through their own little family problems, but everyone's on the street together, lashing out, you get me? So obviously the older guys are doing crime. So we're thinking like, boom, they don't care, so we don't care.
As many people may know, I have always been named as a forefront person in the UK when it comes to the gang culture. From my background with my street movement PDC, gang culture to us was always family based and was never as the media seemed to think it was. They portray us as some heartless savages that will do anything for anything, but really we are just products of the environment we live in. I wanted to hear how people in my situation saw the gang culture and how it affected them and the areas they are living in.
Before YPB was MPB, North Peckham Boys.
Yeah.
Like, that was the original thing. On my estate, you had YBs, that's Yellow Brick Boys. Yeah, it's all Roach and them man there. You get me? Like Yellow Brick Boys. Like, see, you remember Desmond's?
Yeah.
Like when you see the white hand and the black hand touching in the back, you see a YB on the wall. That's a Yellow Brick thing. You get me? YPB turned into PMS. It's like, it's a debate what PMS stands for, like, but there's a few different ones. Peckham made soldiers, that's what I roll with. But before it was like Peckham mans, you get me? And one time I was in jail, some ghetto boys proper getting technical with me, like, how could it be called Peckham man? Like, where's the S?
You know, you got the Chelsea Smiler people going around and putting cards in people's faces and beating them up and that. Well, our forefathers used to batch together, no matter where you're from, whether African, whatever, and chase them like that. So from then, what I understand from after that is that you got the young bucks before our generations, and it was a crew called MPB, and then you had cutter crews like Firehouse Crew, and then from you had MPB, there was YPB.
Transcended from Sticksmen to Raiders. So the pickpocketers in Brixton became part of the Raiders. Tulsa, we were outsiders. Like every area has their little outsiders. We was outsiders, but not area code like how it is these days. It was actually an area.
The man them showed me the full story of Brixton and how it started and the generations and whatnot. Like as far as I know, it was Hangman, then Raiders, then 28s, and PDCs after that.
Back in them days, we all kind of grew. You get me? Doesn't matter where you're from, Aston, Newtown, Handsworth. Like we all kind of grew together. And the reason why is there's a place called Mohammed Ali Centre. That's in the middle of like the two ends, and everybody used to go there as youths. Yeah, you see me? So all the youths from, you might say from all the inner cities used to par and used to roll, and so from there, like everybody grew up and like we kind of, like we had, it was just a big crew kind of thing. You get me? After Inshires kind of died out, we was just one big crew, and that crew, it was Handsworth, Aston, Newtown, Lazelle, Bergen, Johnny kind of thing came. Like obviously, like years later, we used to have the front line, and you get me? That's where we used to be. Now front line's a thing like next door to it, you got like a cafe, and the cafe is called the Burger Bar. You understand it now? Obviously, because we was too young to get in front line, we'd have to sneak in and be a thing. We used to be in the Burger Bar, that was our place, you see me? Man used to be in there, the little games, bam, shutting on the drawers, whatever. Because man, no more food shutting, man was shutting drawers, man was out there shutting licorice, shutting beer thing, shutting polos, cashew. Man was out there getting their little peon. You understand it? Same way in the Burger Bar and that still, you see me? So for us, so obviously, it got to a thing like, anything used to happen on the ends, the bigger man them, the older man them say, yeah, they look at you them from the Burger Bar, you get me? And that's all you used to hear everywhere. Them you them from the Burger Bar, that's all the man used to know us as, really. So obviously that name kind of just stick with man and that, you get me? We're from Handsworth and that, and even though this time we all used to ride, Newtown, Aston, Lazelle, Handsworth, we all used to ride. Us in Handsworth now, due to Burger Bar. Even the Johnnies used to be in Burger Bar with us, some of them at some stage, but that name kind of stuck to man, you get me? So obviously, because that name came now, obviously they got a cafe down Lazelle's, and that was called a Johnson's Takeaway. So when they look up, it wasn't even a friction, you know, because people, this really never started over nothing. You understand? It started over rivalry, really. People say it started over a computer game, over, it was nothing that started over. Man just really weren't feeling man like that no more, you get me?
Beef in our community has been given this great title, and most of us worship it, even though it has no benefit to us, and we mostly use it against our own community. I wanted to know how beef was looked at in the old days for the elders, and also how it has affected us today, and why most beef start in our community.
If you have a fight with someone, they live to tell the tale. If you shoot someone, there's no sorry. You don't get to know that person, you don't get, because most of my friends came from fighting.
Most people, most of the arguments that are happening, most men don't know what's happening. They don't even know why
they just started on a graffiti thing, you know. Like they used to tag YGB and we used to tag YPB, innit?
That's it.
And we used to, like, they would see a YPB crossed out, YGB written, and then we start doing it back like that.
I'm just in jail, I'm hearing everything, and like later down, years down the line, I'm just not liking what I'm hearing, because things have started getting too ridiculous, yeah? And also we got to the stage where there never seemed to be like a unity no more in the hood in my ends. That's how it sounded to me from the inside. I don't know, when I left, it was a one order kind of thing. It was a unity, it was a hierarchy kind of thing, you see me? And it seemed like all that had gone.
I've lost many close friends, many, you know? Close friends, my best friend Sykes, as you know, like, lost him. Blue, little Andy.
Right now it's just the youth taking it up and running around doing the madness. You don't really see big man on his team unless it happens. If it happens, it happens, isn't it? Anyone's going to fend whatever's happening. It's going to fend it itself, innit?
I was relating, man, that happened to me, and my family situation was similar to my man's one, and you're thinking,
Same thing.
Exactly.
That happened to me with Pigo, youngest bar.
I'm saying.
I mean, him was proper man. He tried to stab me in my neck one time in jail and that. Rocked it up and that, like proper beefing. Anytime we saw each other, it started from the road when they come down one time and they bust my brother in Jack's head. From there, we were just bitter enemy, but me and him, when at it, we both got 5 years.
Yeah, same birds ago.
So we're bucking up, you get me? Like at the beginning, we was just bare tear-ups, and then, see, by the end, like, me and him somehow by fate made us get banged up together.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, imagine that.
And it was just like, boy, we can either do this thing all night, or man can just hold their corner. We started chatting and, like, by like day 2, day 3, I'm starting to get to know him, and I'm thinking, raw, like, I'm all thinking, raw, like, you should have been a Peckham boy.
Heating in the crib, all them sorts.
Same story.
Same normal black person coming up. You're a black boy. I did the same life as you, the same thing going up. I live exactly the same as you. We do exactly the same thing.
Exactly the same thing.
We've all been through the struggles and lost people and whatever. Some can't take it and do the wrong thing and take it that way. Some can hold it and go true.
Don't respect family.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't respect family. And I've got to blame yous.
Yeah.
Yous.
You got blame me, right?
I've got to blame yous.
Yeah, so
because we still had it structured to a certain way. What happened after that? Your generation embraced them as if they're your friends. They're not your friends, and they can't be until they've gone through certain things. You're supposed to push them back at school. Don't let them be out on the road and saying, "Little man, what you doing here?" We take them back to school.
I heard the story and I'm in the jail, and it just made me burn inside. You see me? I'm burning with a passion. I'm saying, yo, I don't love that, you know. Something must have happened, and some youths from Aston or from Johnny youths must have seen like one of the youth. He's not even repping like that. He's just a youth from Hansel. You get me? I must have stripped him down and them thing that, you know, dog. You understand it? And took off the man naked, took off his clothes naked, left him naked, and dropped him in one bin in town. You get me? And I mean, what? That's how I'm not dealing with youths on it. Nah, I never like it, innit?
One of the first ones was my friend David from over Mitesfield. He got stabbed up for his chain in West London. Yeah, that was a sad thing, like close death, like a friend. And then we had a friend like Perry and Wesley and Mark escaped it, and that was the next 2 that we lost.
No big scale,
so we just, the death thing started to circulate around us. Them times when we turned like 15, 16, 17. Yeah, the death started to circulate, and we got to get close to this thing called death.
I told you the truth. It's got to a fashion. I think I think it's gay. I think it's dead.
It's real.
I told you the truth. Nottingham, there's real man. There's couple real man. There's real man like everywhere. But the gang culture is not as far as when I see other cities, and I know there's been lots of deaths.
Yeah, of course.
There's lots of man that say they can't allow this beef, and man could understand that. You get what I'm saying? But I think in our city, it kind of like the kids grow up. Watching rap, thinking that's day-to-day how man live. When a man sometimes talks on a tune about a shooting or a gun or whatever, he's not talking about every day. More time a man's talking about a one time what he's done, or one time or one thing in his life. But the youths them grow up listening to that and liking that, where they make it their everyday now, and they think it's normal. Of course, we're from the ghetto, we roll with guns. No, that's not normal. That's not normal in the UK. We got a nice place to live from. We're blessed to live here. It's a nice place to live. We get dough. We get, you know what I mean? It's not like the ghettos in other places. So
that's a cause anyway. But Now there's definitely a lot more cause, and innocent people who ain't even never been involved in it are getting involved and get picked on and targeted.
The worst thing about us, once we make a bad mistake, we have a bad thought, we follow through with it. We're not big enough and ugly enough yet to say, fuck me, that was a mistake, and turn to our friends and say, we fucked up there, you know. We're still going to follow through that until it comes to a headway where 15 years has gone out your life, 12 years gone out your life, or 2 friends have died, and then someone says, you know what, and it's not even a mass thing, it's one person will exodus and go about his business, and then another one will slowly evolve and go about his business, and there'll be still the hardcore guys that still believing what they're doing is right, and it's not.
What is it come to really?
Prison is something that I've experienced from a very young age. I got my first 3-year prison sentence when I was only 16 years old, and then a further 4 years when I was 21. I know that this can have a very hard impact on a young person. I wanted to see how it had affected others, and also the negative impact it is having on our community.
Time there, man was just like super wild, innit? So flipping, obviously when man's in jail, them time there, I'm just thinking, like, I'm just unlucky that time, so like, next time I just got to do it more properly.
I ended up in prison in Jamaica, where I had done 4 years, doing 4 years time in GP, General Penitentiary.
It wasn't so much life, I got 3. Okay. And that's it. And at that time when it was 6 months and 2 months, 3 years is like a lifetime.
Even if you want to hold it down for a while, you're seeing all your friends doing their stuff and that, so you just get pulled into a little rat race.
There was no bunk. I was sleeping in a hammock for 4 years, which I didn't want to run no ground straight, because ground straight, people's walking on your straight, all kind of things, and who wants to hold up the ground straight? They want to feel like they're boss.
They had a law then that I'm sure people have mentioned it already, called SUS. Okay. Where they could accuse you of anything, and you couldn't disprove it. Yeah. They can accuse, and that is you. That's it. That's it. That's it. Done.
That's you done it. That's it.
Yeah. Nobody to say correlate to what they've said, corroborate what they've said or anything. Wow. Just you did that for murder. Well, I'll be nicked for anything.
In the end, it was like 33 bank robberies, you get me? There was 2 that had violence in it. Imagine one of them, I wasn't even there, but 2 of them had violence, so they sentenced me on the one with the violence. But I got 15 months concurrent, like bare different 15 months. So I just done 7.5 months. But that was long, like your first time, that's long.
Imagine. It was about, how much of us? 4 of us. Sometimes it was 5, a little 1, 2 occasions, might have been 6 man. 3 hammocks in the air, 4 hammocks in the air, and 2 on the ground. And it's not even, it's small. It's wide like my arms, and about a couple lengths long. You get me? It's like a cupboard. You get me? So it was hard. It was hard, but I adapt.
I would assist the police by behaving incorrectly. And that's something that we all have to take into context. We must learn to how to speak to them and know the law of the land.
It was easy. Yeah, I felt bad at certain times. Say, raw, I'm in this place and rare, and then I say, what? Yeah, come on, man.
Their approach and how we first deal with them, that's how it evolves. Okay. If you know how to speak to them, it can transcend into something where you part company.
Straight away.
If not, well, you're going to jail.
That must mean in that period there must be loads of innocent people going to prison.
Yeah, man, I did.
In yard now, when I done that, I said, boy, when you get time and you do your thing, you know it's you, nobody.
Everyone's going to jail now for them big sentences, and they're feeling it more.
Of course.
And their parents are feeling it more.
I went back in 2004. Okay. You get me? And then I done at 8. I just come out, it was like 1 goal kind of thing. Obviously, I just wanted to take it easy. Like, obviously, man read a lot on that one there. Like, got wise, I got more awakened to certain things. So, like, I just wanted to just go for my dream sort of thing. Like, and that's this music thing, you get me?
Being there, my elders that are doing life warned me that I can become them. And I was smart enough to take heed of what they said.
Now, looking over my community, there's a lot of negativity and lack of progression. How do we start to rebuild and guide our people? How can we influence our children? Where did we go wrong? What mistakes do we need to learn from? How do we unite? And what are these individuals doing in their communities to uplift and inspire?
It takes a community, a village to grow a child, you get me? And in England, us black males, we're getting it harder than ever. We're not doing nothing to help.
But at first, it was kind of like, ooh, what is a hood gonna think of me? And then straight afterward, I thought, I don't give a damn, because my son was born. And that's why I'm doing all of this. Do you understand? And when I said to myself, do you know what? I don't even care. They fed off that, and they loved that about me. That you can't be much realer than that. Like, I don't care. I love you lot. I'm trying to help you lot because no one was there for me. Do you understand? A lot of people was thinking, "Raw, these guys gone soft or whatever." I didn't care about that. People like that, I've learned to cut off. You get me? I don't need people like my life. I need some people that's dealing with positivity. Like, you can't promote badness to youth because you're sending them to their death and to life sentences.
People can't outreach to these youths on the road.
Yeah,
Can't
they can't relate to
you
them.
don't have to even come and talk to these people. A man coming in, a man who my man don't know said, yeah, we've got something going on, yeah, man, I'm gonna go do what he's doing. Of course. Right, probably he'll come up to me and say, yo, we've got something going on, yo, he's gonna think about it. He's gonna think, say, rapper, yeah.
It's gonna be more.
75% is gonna come.
That's why the hair shops kind of survive, because they not only do they own the wholesales anyway, you know what I mean, but they buy collectively together, you know what I mean. Mr. Singh or Mr. Khan will have like a hair shop, and his brother will own one, and his brother will, you know what I mean. They all work together. There's no togetherness, you know what I mean. People don't trust each other. Yo, this person's gonna thief the money, man. That person's gonna run off, man. Blah blah blah, man. You know what I mean. But it's a togetherness. And I don't know, we have to just be honest and truthful, but for that to all happen, you know what I mean, we have to kind of have a collective identity.
So I started the enterprise New Day Foundation and them thing there, and just been doing our little street work and that, and you know, and on the back of that we've made the film. The film's out there now, so that's another thing, you know, and what our business about is a message getting out there, you know, because this is not the way forward, and you know, I just want to be uplifting the youths and not breaking them down.
One of the things I really dislike is when I go to a meeting and it's just like people just complaining about what we haven't got, what we haven't done, and what we should have done, and how bad things are. And I'm like, well, we're here. Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? We're alive. Let's use our energy now positively and move forward. I don't want to sit down and talk and complain. I want to be involved in positive action.
I read the Willie Lynch letter when I was 26, and I'm telling you, that brought me to my knees. I cried because I can still see in this day and age how his whole warped thing of breaking people down is still prevalent today. It's still prevalent today. It's in the way that women give each other dirty looks instead of, you know, oh my gosh, your car's nice, oh, you're successful, well done. It's a kotai thing, you understand? Men are beefing over nonsense. They're dying because you stepped on their trainers. What kind of madness is that? And that's a direct domino effect, in my honest opinion, of that whole slavery isms thing.
Say a youth gets eight A's at GCSE. That's something you're supposed to take that youth, take him to Nando's and buy him a big meal, and you know what I mean, and 2 cheesecake and salad and all the rest of that. Do you get me? Give him a party. Cause that's a massive achievement.
Anything I'm learning, I'm teaching youths on my round at the same time, you get me? One's got a little course coming out, like showing them how to be like social enterprises and how to be entrepreneurs, and you get me, from step by step, whether it's music, entertainment, you get me, man's on the whole of that stuff. So you understand it, man's just trying to change up things, man, cause I'm saying, like, the way I see it, man, this is my place. I've been there since birth, but I've been a part of the problem for a long time. So right now, I think it's time for me to be a part of the solution, you see me? Cause it's my place, I love my place, innit? I don't want to see it run to the dogs. I don't want to see the youths them just dead enough and ending up in jail and long mitzvah. That's long.
You can't. You can never build anything or go forward or anything if you're at war.
Exactly.
And you're at war with yourself. So how, you know, if I'm in war, the only thing I can think about is how am I gonna get my enemy, and I can't think about how am I gonna. I can't even really plan for tomorrow because I'm thinking about today. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, you know, all of that there, for me, really, I think that it can be achieved, because it's not like it's something whereby it's 60 years, 100 years, 200 years. This is a short period of time, you know, considerably. For the people who've lost their lives and everything, you know what I mean, I feel sad for them, you understand what I'm saying? And I feel sad for people whose lives have been ruined, and the man them who are in jail doing all these long sentences and everything. But the reality of it is, if we want to go forward as a people, right, if we want to go forward as a community, all of that negativity, all of that, a lot of it, we got to drop it. Even if you don't like that man, you need to have the responsibility to say, I don't like that man. In fact, I really detest that man, but I'm not gonna burn down everything just for the sake of getting that man.
Instead of like keep pressing like this sledgehammer to crack it up, you've already cracked it. Now put some youth work out there and deal with it at grassroots level and say what's making these youths go into this lifestyle and thing, because they haven't got no options. They're showing the youths options to say we got this going, we got people doing this, and you can be like telling the youths what is the antisocial problem, dealing with it on a different way rather than giving the mums court fines or whatever they're doing with this ASBO stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I went to see a young man I've watched grow up called DL, and who has always had a rough reputation around South London. I've seen him grow up, as I have, from a negative to a positive, progressive individual. He's now doing MMA sports fighting, so I'm going to watch him train and speak to him about his thoughts and journey so far.
I call it young, rich and fresh. Keep guns on deck. Hope the boys know how to count. That's 100 on my neck. One has gotta stay warm. Summer's gotta be fresh. Pulling up in that phone. Jumping out in my sweats.
Well done, fam. Good, yeah?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, man. So obviously, we see you doing the training today while you was going in. So what? Coming from the road and then into like this kind of environment, what's that been like for you?
Boy, I don't want to say it in that way because it don't sound good, but I ain't been good at nothing good. You know that? Anytime it's been something where you have to kind of put your mind to it, and like college ain't for me, you get me? You see what I'm saying? So I found something that I'm actually good at, like, you see what I'm saying? I'm getting better at. It's a bit, like, you know, like this game here, a lot of, like, enough roadmen are getting into it now, but before, no one really did it, you get me? So, obviously, man them getting involved in this, certain man could fight anyway, so it's natural, you get me?
That looks serious.
Make me look like a victim. That's a teacher. If any of these guys here just spin the camera when they're scared. 20 fights undefeated in the gym though.
I think a lot of people right now, in the times that we're coming to, a lot of people are fixing up and kind of saying, you know what, they need to put their energy somewhere else now. Like everyone's kind of saying, no, come off the road and all that. It's kind of getting dead now.
Yeah.
Well, you said that you bring your son here as well. Like, when you bring your son here?
Yeah, I bring my son here on the weekends. Get me?
It's
Make my son do it from early because a lot of us when we was younger got sold the false hope and got put into karate.
Yeah, of course.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Karate helping no one. Just get I got black belts that are scared of me in karate. You see what I'm saying? So I wish my mum and that put me into this from young. You get me? You see what I'm saying? I'm making my son do it from young.
What's your relationship like with your son?
Yeah, no, me and my son, we just come back from Tenerife. You get me? Like my son loves me. You get me? Like my son, I got a good bond and good relationship with my son. You see what I'm saying?
I went from 85 kg down to 70 kg. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking of writing a book. People know it. You know, like people say, raw. In fact, boy, raw, why is man hating? And when I saw the pictures now, I'm thinking, raw, big, you know? You know what I mean?
A lot of the youths don't understand this. There's a difference from, like, you can keep it real and go jail, or be clever and stay free. You get me? So I'm saying that's what a lot of the youths, like, even when I was chatting to Chester the other day, and he's saying a lot of the youths are like following the rappers and what they're doing, what not even a rapper will do. Like the rapper will rap about certain things, but he ain't doing it. You see what I'm saying? You get me? But then the new youths, they're on some next shit. You see what I'm saying? Entertaining the roles. A man bang you in your mouth today, and then you want to go and do something just to prove to the world. You get me? Where you can be clever and fake. Think, you know what? Fuck that. Stay free. You see what I'm saying? And have the last laugh. You get me? I want to be out here for my youth at the end of the day.
You ain't got to get naked if you want to show that body. She was looking all sexy when I pulled up in that party.
You see, music has played a major role in my life and has been at the same time a substitute for family. Through music, I seek guidance and escapism, and many young people use music to channel their energy in the same way. I wanted to hear the thoughts of some of these individuals. How were they introduced to music? How did it affect them? How do they see music in their communities?
I make them fade away, load them on a boat and blow it up as it sails away. Nah, we don't need a mate.
I love the studio, innit? I'm in the studio, I'm off the street. I've got other things to think about. I've got to think about how I'm going to lay this track right now. I've got to think about that, innit? Right now when I go home, I've got to think about how I'm going to do my shit. I'm not thinking about the road, you with me? I'm older than people think, but I've been there, I've done it, I've been there, I've done that shit. Right now, I just focus on me, innit? And just do me and think about music and just do music. Yeah, it's helped me in a big way, massive way music has. Kept me head off enough stuff. Right now, I shouldn't be here. I'm telling real stories. I should be gone, my head's gone. The shit I've been through, but I told you, it's all about your head strong. Right now, I'm headstrong, innit? Let's let that in the music, innit? Let your thing out in your music.
Welcome family, good, yeah? So what are you doing today? Performance, yeah. So tell the people what you're doing, promoting.
Wow, boom, these two.
Yeah.
They've done a track called Straight Up, yeah. Done a remix to it called Suck, JK, Depths, Me, these two on there, as well as the chorus, Skepta heard it, and done his own remix, but kept these two on the chorus. But obviously, because he's filming in man's hometown, shout out to man, yeah. Good shot this thing now.
Yeah, so you're all performing on stage today, yeah? With Skepta as well, yeah?
Some people call me famous, no, but I just say I'm known, cause I've been doing this since.
The networking is very important, and that's what we were saying about the pride thing. I think when we start as a community, start kind of dropping that pride thing, we get more links out of it.
Started up the DJ thing, started the little sound and that, and then.
What was the song called?
Gamra.
All right, so that's still going on now.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been third year running this year now. And obviously that kept going, man them supporting it, people coming out and saying, this is the new thing, and now I wouldn't say gone clear or nothing, but I'm stepping to where I want to be kind of thing with it.
You're a young DJ.
Yeah, cause I'm young as well.
All right.
So I'm playing the jams what everyone wants to say, and obviously I can play for the big people as well.
Grime only come when I was about from 10, 11, 12 onwards, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? So before all that, my mum grew up on lovers rock, you get me, reggae. I'm a melody man when it comes to music. I grew up on the R&B and that, single mum. So them times there, man are listening to what my mum's listening to, coming up young, she's listening to swing. R&B, I'm a man who like them. Obviously I come up like in the Dr. Dre and the Warren G and that, what was going on in them times. I remember when I called Virus James back at school. Now just look how the times have changed. I left school with C's, not A's. I went college and quickly fell into foolish ways. Before college I was smoking grade. Then I just wanted to jam for the day I was red card. These hands I just start blaze. I carried on even though I was struggling. Checked 2 man and started juggling. I got that quad bubbling. Left college for the roast then started hustling. I troubled in what got smuggled in from overseas, wrapped in some bubble thing. I thought things were gonna get easier, but these times things just got more puzzling.
Well, you must be enjoying hearing about all the music and all that. What was your thoughts on that?
Like, my thoughts was like, it's real now. Like, it's not just like some pipe dream. Before, because when I was out before, in that little time when I was out from 2002 to 2004, I was doing grime. And like, but it was like a pipe. You weren't real. Like music can take you out of this thing. You get like.
It was a hobby kind of thing most time.
But now it's realistic. You get me? Like it's worth. If you've got what it takes, it's worth giving it a shot. That's the way I see it. You get me?
That's what I'm saying.
Pecknam suicide, where them brothers slewing guys, who are guys, thinking that they are. Sticks blew a guy up in the air. He came down, he weren't looking nice. He weren't looking right. I had to get out of there, I had to book a flight. Cops looking for a brother, but they weren't looking right. Certain brothers shook her eye, shut the sky, pun his suicide. How did I survive past 25? Only God knows. Mama, don't worry, but I'm stuck up in the road.
Tell them no blood clot ready. If the beats tight, then my flow pops cherries in. Credibility, virgin oak like Mary. Craft concepts that birth immaculately. And currently working on an EP entitled Love Me With My Clothes On, or You're Going to Love Me With My Clothes On. And it's kind of like
something you said you're going to love me
with my clothes on, yeah. And
that's interesting.
it's kind of like a cheeky dig at today's society.
None of my niggas don't wanna go pen. Make money, let me show them. Yeah, make money, let me show them. The government, they make money when you go pen. Just for not paying a fine. Knowing you could never pay the money back you owe them. It's so liberal, it's so them, so conservative, action is affirmative. You can't be asking rapper to vote, but a politician, none of you deserve to live. Listen, you want it all for yourself. Less for the poor, more for the wealth. They wanna see us grab the four off a shelf. Niggas getting shot like we're bored of our health. Come on, look in the mirror. Are you bored of yourself? Yeah, you. Take a little food for thought. If you know you're going bricks, next couple of days, make money. Take a little food to court. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. You know? Yeah, fam.
People like yourself, people like me, all the elders, all the people that's done this thing, that's not afraid to speak their mind and talk the proper thing, need to be doing stuff like this, interviews, putting it out so youths can see it. Because when I was a youth, I never saw none of this stuff. There wasn't even no internet like that when I was a youth, you get me? But, you know, when they're seeing stuff like this, they can tap into it before they get sucked into the street.
Like you're saying, just cut the crap in it. Just cut the crap in it. If it's a real, but even the certain things like you're saying, if you can't, the certain things have gone too far, you can't fix. Man ain't gonna link up. You get what I mean? But you can go as far as, well, we don't like each other, let's just not talk.
Expansion really, like I think this country just needs this country's got good rappers and good music now, it just needs like we can have our own rap mode.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
You get me? So it's like kinda my head's kinda in that direction.
In America it's different, you can come out like yourself. Yeah. We can't come out like ourselves. That's why get a good youth. They ain't done nothing. We ain't on the roadside and push them.
We got to do things and help them. You know, have some organized, like a fatherless, for some of the youths them that's fatherless. Some of us can be fathers to them. Let's build us something like we can be fathers to them, like mentoring that we can be there. They can come here. That's all they need.
Guidance.
They haven't heard our story.
It's time to show the youths their options and say, well, do you know what? You can do this and you can take an easy, slow life of hustling on the street, probably jail a couple times and not really get away. You can just try and do something inspiring and be a role model and do a lot for yourself, really. And it's not about clapping a gun crime and all of this stuff.
We need to start celebrating success.
Yeah, of course.
And start fighting down each other. Exactly. Like if I see a man doing well, I'm glad to see him do well.
I think rather than even us, as bad as it sounds, forget us. We need to concentrate on the youths because they're the ones that are going to make the decisions and they're the ones who have to live with the legacies that we've left. Do you know what I mean? And our elders have left.
It's hard for me to get the same message to them unless we're trying to teach them over things. Other than just say, well, we're going to do a rap tune and spit positive on it. How about we forget the rap and we teach you something else? How about we teach you something you might be interested in? We teach you some knowledge, we teach you things, some history, we might teach you whatever you might be interested in. And that then, when you hear me spit and I'm telling you about this, or I spit in a certain way which might not be so roadish into what you're thinking, you're going to understand why I spit like that. Because now you've got the knowledge.
You just need to understand, like, there's nothing wrong with like wanting to educate yourself, wanting to go to college, wanting to read a book on law. You understand what I'm saying?
Because sometimes people make things sound as if it's impossible. It's not impossible. No, anything a man has built, another man can build. Anything a woman has built, another woman can build.
The government opens up a door for us and it makes us kind of be them role models now. The youths will follow. The youths are looking at me when I was younger and when I got my nice things and I'm not doing nothing but wrong. Yeah, and they're thinking, okay, that's what I need to do. You see what I'm saying? So obviously if they can open up a door and make more of us do positive things and actually progress, then obviously it'll get better out here.
Inspire to bigger things. There's nothing wrong with all that, man. Like, so
all the promoters and all the DJs, all they've got to do is get their time. Not their money.
It was the time.
Yeah, it's their time. So it's a non-profitable day. The only thing that's going to be spent is a bit of chicken and you don't even need to buy the chicken.
Yeah, I hear that.
Just have the people come and put their stalls there. They'll make some money, but everyone just put together a consortium of people to sort out this thing and put it there, and people just come. And then we'll see how much there'll be more unity, there'll be more surprises, there'll be more like people connecting.
Working collectively and trusting each other. You can't, there's no, you see people like have a food shop here and a food shop there and a food shop there, you know what I mean? And they're all struggling to stay alive, they're all in competition with each other. How about you all buy your meat together? You know what I mean? You all buy your yam together, you know what I mean?
You just all need to get together and just be one and just do our thing. Wherever you're from, you just need to we're all black in it, we're all black in it, we all just stick together. Forget all the war. It's all about this money. This is what it's about. It's not about you going, you steps on your traders, you're looking at you the wrong way. Or it's not about none of that. It's just about sticking together. I want to see the community stick together.
Positive people linking up. So there's a lot of I can't do it by myself. You can't do it by yourself. But I tell you what, if there's 3 of us and we link together, right, and we come up with a plan, you got skills that I don't have, and he might have skills or she might have skills that we don't have. We link up together and we can put a plan together.
People, we ain't never gonna get nowhere as a community until we learn how to unify. You understand it? Until we learn how to work with each other, help build each other. You understand? Black people are too quick when they get a bit of money. Come on, just tip off at the ends and say, you know, I got my thing now, you know, I'm nice. You see me? Now we need to be cutting out them things, we need to just build. And that's why, if that can't never happen, why with all this fighting against man, fighting on post-Cold War, this man killing that man, fighting, it will never happen while that's going on. We got to learn how to, you know, unify.
Speaking to all these different individuals on this journey has been inspiring and shown me that I'm not alone in the battle for change in our community. There are other people out there with similar backgrounds that are willing to drop their egos and misdirection and help guide the new generation of youth in the right direction. This has made me aware of the struggles we face as a community, and at the same time made me aware of the importance of unity within our own people. I hope young people watch this journey and see that we are all the same people, going through the same struggle, but what we need to focus on is building back up our families and communities. May the journey continue to be progressive. One love. One love.
But there's a give back, just make me stronger. Haters want me gone, but I'm already already been through all of the drama. Blood, sweat, and tears, now I'm high in the lead. Now who do you know that'll rock like me? How about the drop, head and cop like me? It's been a few, but shorty not like me. It ain't never been nobody on top like me.
I came out of prison, now picture my vision. No support, so I made my own decision. I flew away to the States, confidence sinking. They're like, damn, yo, though, what's your city thinking? I came back singing, like the city's ours. Cash ain't a thing, we got girls and a bag of cars. I remember I couldn't meet with an A&R. Now you can hear my songs banging in the city bars. All the things I've seen, you can say I lived it hard. Fresh to death clothes outside, body silence.